Hey, all you podcast listeners, you can find Slice of the Paranormal everywhere podcasts are found, or you can watch us on our YouTube channel.
Hey, hi, hello, and welcome to the holiday edition of Slice the Paranormal. I'm Ryan. Yay! I know. I'm Ryan. This is Christy. This is Steve.
Hello.
And Steve will tell you I'm more of a ball humbug guy, but these guys are not. They are festive as hell.
Yeah.
Even Steve.
I will say, I think Steve and I are a little disappointed.
Yeah, I expected more from Ryan as our fearless leader.
I asked him what he was going to wear, to celebrate the holiday episode, and he goes, well, I'm going to celebrate in regular Ryan fashion and, wear a blue sweatshirt.
I got a blue hoodie I'm going to wear.
Like, how is that holiday?
How are you tying blue to
It's
the
just,
holiday?
it goes with the graphic.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to match the graphic, red and blue.
Okay.
Christy matches too.
Yeah.
See, if you're holiday, I'm holiday. See, I did it.
Okay, he's got red and blue.
I
give
did
him
it.
that much, but maybe
I also could go to
That's
4th of July right now.
you could have been wearing a hat. You could have had necklace. I mean,
I had very cool
They're
festive
very.
glasses.
If you can't tell, they're very upset with me, and they have been letting me have it.
we're going
Actually, I've been withholding until now. I wanted to let you have it on the air.
Ah,
you get what you deserve.
I like it.
That's what happens, man.
I like it.
We have a holiday special. But, in all honesty, if you are not a very holiday person, you are being honest with your holiday traditions.
I appreciate that.
I'll give you that much.
That's true.
So I'm not going to pick on them too much.
Yeah, I think I'm done.
I appreciate it, guys. I don't mind the razzing. Yeah, I'm good. I'm a bit of a ball humbug. I'm not going to lie. But ball humbug kind of fits our theme today.
It does. And essentially, we have, right here on the table, we have Krampus, which is the big, mean man of the hour. Now, we're not going to talk about him right away, because Krampus is like the granddaddy of evil for Christmas.
Okay.
But
I've heard of him.
Should we introduce ourselves? I think I interrupted.
Maybe.
Before.
It's a Slice of the Paranormal.
Right.
I am Ryan. That's Steve. And this is Christy. We do a podcast about paranormal stuff, mysteries, crazy histories, aliens,
stuff.
Bigfoots, and today Krampus,
Cryptids.
Apparently. So,
yeah, for our
settle
holiday
in.
special, we decided that we didn't want to be tied down to something that we could actually go to and actually check out, because Krampus, he's all over the place.
Yeah, it's more of a worldly figure.
It's a worldly figure.
We
There's
wanted to go
many
something
cultures.
that we could do every holiday, do something big and different.
Exactly. And Krampus is kind of in the realm of like a cryptid or a god,
right,
or however you want to look at it. So instead of starting out with Krampus, and we'll get back to Krampus, I wanted to start with German folklore. Since we're in Pennsylvania, we're surrounded by the Amish. We pass the Amish buggies. We see their stores, and a lot of us have German heritage.
It's true.
So I thought the way to work up to Krampus, let's start out with Belsnickel. Have either of you ever heard of Belsnickel?
I think I have one. Wait, is that a candy bar?
Not a Belsnickel, no.
Is that the one with caramel?
A nougat.
It's a nougat of some sort.
Belsnickel, huh? No, I never heard of the Belsnickel.
I have because of The Office.
Okay.
Dwight Schrute.
All right, so The Office has clued you into the Belsnickel.
Right.
Okay. For those of you that don't live in Pennsylvania or are not German, the Belsnickel is a crotchety man clad in Christmas gift bringer from the Palatinate region of Germany.
Christmas. He's a Christmas gift bringer.
He's a crotchety.
He's cladding.
He's like mean.
He's cladding?
He's
He said
clad in
cladding.
like fur clothing.
Okay.
But he also is known to wear women's dresses.
Okay.
Okay.
Progressive.
So yeah, like this is 1800s, and he's wearing
Belsnickel
women's dresses. So if the Belsnickel comes to your house, this is what he may look like.
I like it.
And he's wearing a mask. Okay, so
What? Wait, no. What kind of mask?
a mask,
Just a
like
painted mask, or
think of a mask from the 1800s. The creepiest,
creepiest kind,
like paper mache,
fantastic,
rags. I mean, whatever you can drum up in the middle of nowhere.
creepy. Okay.
Okay, so this is from like the Oldenwald region, kind of like Krampus is.
What is Oldenwald?
Odenwald is it's in the southern part of Germany. It's the Odenwald forest. It's actually where my family hails from.
Nice.
It's the Odenwald.
Oldenwald.
So my family and my ancestors would have been very familiar with the Belsnickel. So the Belsnickel, unlike Krampus, who visits with Santa, the Belsnickel visits alone. So if you were at home around the Christmas time and the Belsnickel came, he would come alone. And it's pretty much brought by the Pennsylvania Dutch.
Okay.
Is where this comes from. He's wearing furs, a mask, he has a long tongue.
So the legend comes from Germany, but who really celebrate it or recognize it is the Pennsylvania Dutch.
The Pennsylvania Dutch.
So it's more local
Mifflinburg and the Christkindl market,
Yeah.
they have a Belsnickel usually walking around.
Creepy.
So he beats kids.
Yeah.
And that's
course
why
he
we
does.
like him. Oh, and I wanted
We like it.
I wanted to put out a slight disclaimer.
Yeah.
Since it's a holiday episode, and
good call.
we might get kids that want to watch our show. I don't
Or
know-
adults that can get
or
triggered by
adults.
whatever.
This might not be the episode to have your kids watch, because we're going to be talking about the Belsnickel's the nicest one,
And he beats
and
kids.
he beats kids.
Okay, fair.
So it's only going to get worse from here on out.
Appreciate the warning there, Steve.
So just throwing that out there. So this guy looks ragged. He's got torn clothing. He's disheveled. He carries a switch in one hand, kind of like Krampus here. And he would come to your door and he would scatter gifts on the floor.
Okay.
And if the kids like lunged for the gifts,
As a kid
he would start beating them.
Right.
If the kids waited for him to give the go ahead, they would not get beaten.
Oh, wow.
So like
It's his naughty and nice
He's a
meter.
rule maker.
it's a little bit of a naughty and nice kind of meter here going on.
I like that.
So his pockets were full of cakes, candies, and nuts, all for the
I don't
good
want
kids.
no pocket cake,
Yeah, that sounds gross as hell.
right?
Like it's like
kids.
I'll put it on the floor for you.
it's like getting a warm Skittles. Like it doesn't like warm your heart.
Well, he is
You're
the
like-
Belsnickel.
But this is the Belsnickel. This is Pennsylvania German. So you get what you get. All right. So he was popular in the 1800s in German communities. He showed up 1 to 2 weeks before Christmas. So this isn't December 24th that he's showing up. He's showing up like 2 weeks before this.
Getting you ready.
And he would knock on the door with a stick, which sounds kind of ominous to me.
I like that.
And the children would have to answer a question or sing a song to the Belsnickel. And it was on Belsnickel Night. So, which
Is it just like the tradition, or?
well, Belsnickel Night, here's where it ties back into Krampus. It falls on December 5th, which is also Krampus Night or Krampusnacht.
Okay.
So the same night of Krampusnacht, Belsnickel could show up. So to me, this tells me that Belsnickel is really just a softened version
Right.
of Krampus. You know, like Krampus is the
He's
big
Krampus
dark
adjacent,
baddie,
yeah.
But Belsnickel's kind of like, the tame version. You know, like the Disney version.
So he's like the version some parents tell their kids.
Yeah, he's like the version some parents would tell their kids.
Don't worry, you're not going to get anything else, but he might beat you.
And the reason Krampus Night is on December 5th is because the eve of the feast of St. Nicholas is on December 6th. So the night before St. Nicholas and the good guy of the story of Christmas holiday, you have the dark Krampus
The night before.
So, and it was honestly, I'm thrilled that you mentioned in The Office, because it was in season 9. The episode was called Dwight Christmas. And he dresses as the Belsnickel and spends the episode deciding if his coworkers were impish or admirable.
Impish or admirable?
At the Christmas party.
I like it. I don't know this one.
You never saw it?
I don't know.
Oh,
You
it's a
gotta
good
see
one.
this episode.
I mean,
for
I've
the
seen all of
holiday.
them, but I don't remember this one.
It's funny.
I'll
But
watch it.
Belsnickel essentially means the bell stands for bells, and nickel stands for Nicholas. So it's also kind of another version of it is the Christmas woman, because of the Belsnickel's habit of wearing a woman's dress. Some kids might have known it as the Christmas woman. And sometimes there's antlers. So once again, hearkening back to Krampus.
And sometimes there's antlers.
So that's Belsnickel. And in the 1800s, our ancestors might have known of Belsnickel.
Can I try and stump you?
Yeah.
I learned
Stump
a
the
little.
Steve.
I'm trying to stump Steve.
Stump
I learned a little
Steve.
something about the Belsnickel.
All right.
So, do you know what city that was more popular than like Saint Nick? Around here?
Oh.
And then,
Let me turn back my page nonchalantly.
do you know?
Would that be Saarland?
That's actually pretty close to us. Well, not really
Oh,
close to
you
us.
mean in America?
Yeah.
I'm going back to
Oh,
Germany.
yeah, no, I mean like in America when like Christmas and all these traditions were becoming popular. There was like one city that was mostly German, and they would celebrate Belsnickel.
Okay,
really?
one or two guesses. My first guess is Lancaster.
Stump the
Okay.
Steve.
My second guess would be Reading.
You're wrong.
Oh my!
Oh.
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia, really?
Yeah. Philadelphia. But then New York, because at the time Philadelphia was a more populated city.
Yeah, yeah.
And then in New York, the different immigrants would celebrate like Santa Claus or St. Nicholas. But as New York City grew, the population grew, that became more popular. So if things
wow.
could have gone the other way, we could be
Interesting.
celebrating Belsnickel instead of Santa Claus here.
Interesting.
Like,
Oh,
all over the
wow.
place.
That's interesting. No, because I know that when my
So do I get a
ancestors-
point?
You get a point. I'd give you a point.
Point from Steve.
Yeah.
My ancestors, when they came, they arrived in Philadelphia in 1749,
Fitting.
and they go to Reading because of the high German population. So that's why I
Yeah.
think
Oh, I see why you
Makes
guys.
sense.
Lancaster and Germany had a very high German population.
Reading,
Yeah.
you mean.
Although Philadelphia has a Germantown. So,
Right.
like, when you get to the American Revolution period, when they start capturing all the Hessian mercenaries, they ship them to Lancaster and Reading because those people already speak freaking German.
Oh, makes
You know what I
sense.
mean? So it's easy to house the prisoners with other Germans. In fact, I have Hessian mercenaries in my family tree because they got along with them.
That makes sense.
Little throwback here. Headless Horseman was Hessian, correct?
The Headless Horseman is Hessian, and someday
Headless Hessian Horseman.
I will tell you how I'm related to a Headless Horseman of Distelhausen, Germany. But
like
that's
it.
not today.
Not today.
That is a Halloween episode,
Okay.
oddly enough. So, okay, now that I've been stumped and I've been knocked down a peg or two.
This is like her. She's been dreaming about stumping you. Like that's her
Yeah.
thing.
No, like it's a horrible
It's a little
thing.
heart. Yeah.
I think that might need to be a thing we do.
Oh,
Oh,
no, I
just
feel
stump
bad
me.
for Steve.
Yeah.
Ask me a
Stump
question.
Steve.
Although I think I gave a very valid,
You tried.
I tried to give you a valid answer
Yeah.
on what I honestly felt.
Yeah, and maybe I didn't phrase the question the clearest either. I could have worked on that a little bit more, but
Well,
Next time. We'll
next
try again.
time. Yeah.
no, I still give you a point, though. I
Oh, thank
still
you.
give you a point because, just based on the way you phrased the question, I would have guessed Lancaster.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, if you want to go see Amish people, where do you go?
Lancaster.
Lancaster. I mean, not even
Reading.
Not even
Yeah.
Reading as much as Lancaster. anymore.
Lewisburg.
Lewisburg. Okay.
Mifflinburg.
Now, to work our way up to the Krampus guy, we go to another Christmas helper, I'll call him. Have you ever heard of Knecht Ruprecht?
Knecht Ruprecht.
I'm assuming no.
No.
Okay. He is a companion to St. Nicholas. So unlike the Belsnickel, who comes alone, Knecht Ruprecht would actually accompany Santa on his rounds. Now,
Santa knew about this?
Santa knows Knecht Ruprecht.
Okay.
Santa's the
They're like drinking buddies?
They might be. I mean, I'm sure like us, they're tipping back the nog.
All right. Knecht Ruprecht. What are you doing later?
So, exactly. So he first appears in the 17th century, which this always confuses the hell out of me. So I'm going to point out to our viewers, the 17th century means the 1600s, not the 1700s.
I appreciate that.
Yep.
Okay.
It is confusing.
It confuses the heck out of me, and I study history.
Right.
And I always have to remind myself that the 17th century is the 1600s and blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
But he is a figure in Nuremberg Christmas processions.
Okay.
He's also known as Hans Ruprecht, 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 Samuel
Ruprecht.
Now, Samuel Tyler Coleridge, I mentioned him on our Joseph Priestley House episode. He actually, where was I here? Samuel Tyler Coleridge description from 1798 on a visit to Rotsburg, Germany. He said he was outfitted in high buckskins, a white robe, a mask, and an enormous flax wig. He is also known to wear a black robe with a pointy hood and walking with a limp.
Knecht Ruprecht.
Knecht Ruprecht. So he asked
Pointy
children.
hat like a witch.
He's got a dark feel. He actually appears dark. In the 1960s, there's actually Christmas wrapping paper that used to have Knecht Ruprecht on it.
Really?
It was like a Santa Claus, St. Nicholas, with this little dark demon-like creature with it. And that demon-like creature is Knecht Ruprecht. So up until the 60s, this was completely okay to put on a Christmas wrapping paper, and people would recognize who it was.
Okay.
So, like,
part of Christmas.
He's just part of Christmas. He's like for the bad kids.
It's
So
probably because he has a bad name.
He would also beat kids.
If his name was funner,
Well-
I bet you he would have stuck around.
Yeah, he
Knecht
does.
Ruprecht is just hard to say. If he'd had a fun
But
name
again,
like...
it is German. It's very like.
But what if he was like Banger Boy? I bet you we would still represent Banger Boy today.
that's
You know
what you
what I
gotta
mean?
love about German Christmases. Like here, if you were a bad kid, what did your parents tell you? You got coal.
you got coal.
You're getting coal in your
Right.
stocking. You go to Germany, they're like, do you want Krampus to beat you with sticks and
Right.
throw you in a sock?
Cole's the easy way out.
You know, like Knecht Ruprecht is actually kind of like the step below Krampus. He's not as
So what's he do?
so what he does is he asks kids.
He comes with Santa.
He's like, do you pray? And if they can pray, they're given apples, nuts, and gingerbread. Bad kids get hit with a bag of ashes. Other versions say that he gives kids lumps of coal, sticks, or stones. He also gives kids a stick for their parents to beat them with. So
Oh, that's nice.
Knecht Ruprecht isn't necessarily beating the kids, but he's like, you have some bad kids. Let me give you a stick.
This is
to
for
the
later.
parents. This is to beat the kids later.
Go ahead and use this
I
one.
like the part where he's hitting the kids with the bag of ashes. I don't know why that.
I think it all sounds like torture. What was the first one? Apples and nuts?
Well, that's if they're good. Apples, nuts, and gingerbread.
Yeah, that's if you're good.
That's if you're good.
It's all torture.
Now, here's the weird thing. This is still a known thing in Germany. So, like The Simpsons, what's the dog's name?
Santa's Little Helper.
Santa's Little Helper. In America. In Germany, the family dog is known as Knecht Ruprecht.
No way.
And rather than Santa's Little Helper, because in German culture, they're going to identify Santa's helper as Knecht Ruprecht.
Right.
No way.
So, like, if you watch the German,
Is that where Santa's Little Helper comes from?
that's pretty much what Santa's Little Helpers comes from. In
How
German.
like elves? Isn't that kind of how we would get our elves? Even though they're
Well,
nice.
when you talk about Santa's elves, you have totally freaking warped my entire perspective of Santa's elves.
Right.
I mean, we should bring up the movie you made me watch, which
is one of my favorite holiday movies.
and what's the name of it again?
It's called Rare Exports: A Christmas Tale, and it's I think it's Icelandic or
or Finland or something.
Yes,
Finland.
And it's a cult classic. Apparently, it came out I think maybe 2012, something like that. So it's been out for a while, and it's definitely like an anti-Santa type story with a little boy and a lot of really old elves that are old. And what made you uncomfortable about it, Steve?
So I thought the elves were Santa because they look like Santa.
Right.
Minus the clothing.
Yeah.
The fact that they're naked.
They're naked.
There's a lot of Santa penises.
Santa penises everywhere in this episode, or that movie.
Yeah.
And Santa.
Just at the end, though, really, like when they're all coming running down the hill.
True, but the fact is that there's not many redeeming characters in this. The father in the story's like a horrible man. You
gotta watch it more than once.
All right,
and actually watch it too, not just clips.
All right, I'm a horrible person.
He promised me he'd watch it,
and I lied. No, I didn't lie. I told her the truth that I didn't watch it. But
yeah.
I watched reaction videos on YouTube because I couldn't get the full episode because I don't have any. I don't have like Netflix or Hulu or anything like that. So I cheated. But
you're forgiven.
The one thing I did find interesting is that the movie kind of shows Santa as actually being more like Krampus.
It's like the Star Wars thing. It's a little bit, who's the good guy?
Like, I think he's a great tie-in to Krampus. So right now, before we start talking about Krampus, I want to just explain to Christy a little bit about my Krampus.
Okay, yes. I've been told I can't hear anything about it right away.
Okay,
Save it for the show.
So you made this Krampus.
I made Krampus out of a traditional St. Nicholas statue, and I've added a bed of hot coals that he's standing on that are lit.
I see them glowing.
And they glow. And they even have actual pieces of coal. And it has the bones of children stuck in the hot embers of hell in there. And I spray painted it with black. Now, all the skeletons became solid black because of the spray paint when I was creating it. So it's like, how do I lighten them up? So I mixed human ashes with acrylic paint. And
who's human ashes?
Random people that I have.
Oh,
wait. Okay. Should we expand on that?
Yeah, talk about that.
Okay.
I just got random.
I like this story, so please expand on that.
This is a fun story.
It's a fun story about how I procured human ashes.
Human ashes and jars of human bones. I constantly go to thrift stores and I look for weird stuff.
Okay.
And this one thrift store I kept going to, the lady's like always getting these urns and they're always empty. And I heard once at Community Aid, they were like, oh yeah, we got an urn and it was full of human ashes. So we didn't know what to do with it. I was like, well, I would have bought it.
Me.
So I told another thrift store about this scenario. And this lady, I go in one day and she's like, oh, we got another urn. I'm like, is there human ashes in it? And she's like, no. I'm like, damn. And then there's an old lady next door, and she's like, wait a minute. My sister's in the trunk.
Some old random lady.
A random lady who I don't know her name. Says, my sister's
She
in the
overhears
trunk.
you and says.
So she runs out to her car, and she gets her sister and brings her sister in. So at the thrift store,
the sister is dead.
I'm standing at
her sister's in a box.
Yeah, she's in a box of ashes.
Okay,
her sister's dead. So I get a jar from
got her in my trunk. Be right back.
Store.
Give me a sec.
And I was actually buying a Catholic spoon at the time, so it was a spoon with a cross on it.
Okay.
So I scooped the dead girl out into a baby food jar with
the Catholic spoon.
And the lady's like, I'm like, why do you keep this woman in the trunk of your car? And she's like, she was a horrible person. I live in a house that's owned by the church. I didn't want to bring her into the home because she was so dark. So she's like, I keep her in the trunk of my car.
Oh.
So
it was her sister?
And it's her sister.
Yikes.
So, damn. To explain why I wanted human ashes, because this seems like I'm looking like the weird guy now.
Yeah.
As an artist, I thought a way to memorialize people would be great to take their ashes and make various colors of ink out of them and then draw with them with a dip pen.
That's cool.
So
At least I think it's cool.
what I did was I took this woman's ashes, I sifted her bones into a separate container because I don't need that in the ink.
Any sane person would think.
Everyone knows that's what you do first.
First, you sift the bones.
Exactly. So I sift the bones. So I now have a jar full of the bottle of human despair, it's labeled. And it's actually just all full of human bones because I've had more people that give me human
That's just the
cremations.
first.
That was just the first one. So what I did was I created an artwork of her sister. Her sister liked the Beatles. So I drew the Beatles in their silhouettes from Abbey Road where they're walking across the road.
Nice.
But her sister liked Strawberry Fields Forever. And this is where she's going to be, her ashes are going to be dumped.
In Strawberry Fields.
So instead of them walking across the road, they're walking across strawberry fields. And above them says Strawberry Fields Forever. And I'm drawing this to give to the woman.
And you use the paint.
And I used her sister to create the paint so that when she dumps her ashes in Strawberry Fields, New York, she's going to have an image that is literally her sister. And also going to be the ink.
And represent where she was.
And represent where she goes.
That's really cool, man.
So for me, like as an artist, I think when I die, I want to become paint. I want to be given out as tubes of paint so that people can paint me into artwork. What better place for me to reside is and end up is being art.
That's cool.
I would like to be art. So I created Krampus.
Little side story. Sorry. Thank you for
Side
explaining.
story.
So you made the paint out of human ashes.
So the skeletons are
That
actually
paint
painted with
right
human ashes.
Okay.
I added this.
What's
the
it taste
horns.
like?
Huh?
What's it taste like?
What's it taste like?
I have not tasted human ashes.
I don't
He's
believe
not a
that.
Wendigo. He's not a Wendigo.
I'm not a Wendigo. Yeah, exactly. I don't want to be one of those guys. If you eat human, that's what
You
happens.
can't come back from that.
Come on, Chrissy. You got to pay better attention during these other episodes.
I don't know. I just get the
Like-
feel like you might have accidentally licked your fingers or something after
I did wash
handling
the
the
spoon,
ashes.
and I have used it since.
Oh.
So if you ever come to my house and you go to stir your coffee, make sure there's not a cross
I want the cross spoon.
on the spoon, because that's the human spoon. So don't use that one.
Maybe we
Good
don't
to
call.
know.
Maybe we don't call it the human spoon. Okay.
Well, I think it's a great warning.
Actually, I kind of like calling it the human
You
spoon.
know,
I would probably
so-
totally call it the human spoon. All right.
I like the human spoon. So that brings us to Krampus. So he's got a kid in his sack, which added a little bit of blood to the bottom of the sack. And who is Krampus? He's the horned anthropomorphic figure who, in Central and Eastern Alpine traditions, he is said to accompany Saint Nicholas on visits to children on December 5th, Krampus Night or Krampusnacht.
Krampusnacht.
So, Saint Nicholas, we all know, he rewards the good kids. You get gifts from Saint Nicholas. Well, Krampus punishes bad kids with birch rods. And his origins are a little bit unclear. He's half goat. He's half demon monster. He's got one goat foot and black hair. In Bavaria, they would
Just
call
one
it,
goat foot?
Yeah,
It's true.
the other foot
Look at the
is
picture.
like a malformed human foot. If you look at the
It's like a werewolf foot on one,
yeah.
and then like a goat foot on the other.
yeah, the other foot's like a monster's foot. They both have claws, or
I mean, and if you're looking at this picture, he's
Is
coming
it-
at
is
this
it
kid
the-
a little sus. Just saying.
yeah, definitely messed up. So, in Bavaria, he's referred to as Krampen, which means dead or rotten. So
Krampen.
you would assume that this guy smells
Oh,
to high heaven. In German, he's Krampen, which means claw. So, like, his hands on this aren't very claw-like, but you can imagine he's got very sharp talons.
there's two pictures of it.
He
This one's
appears
pretty,
in writings from around the 16th century, so that's the 1500s. And St. Nicholas becomes popular in Germany in the 11th century. That's, in the year 1000 to 1100. And he's kind of over the years, he's assimilated into kind of like the Christian devil. You know, the original Christian devil is like this horned, evil creature.
And he's almost, could look like a pitchfork. Just holding the sticks.
And if you study like how Satan has morphed over the years, like Satan, according to the Bible, is like the most beautiful angel, but like he becomes a tool to demonize things that they don't like. So Krampus is a symbol of the old gods, like Woden or whatever. But when you get to the 1800s and 1900s, instead of demonizing the old gods with Satan, you start demonizing demonizing Satan by making him look more Jewish. So
what they relate to.
Okay, so like if you look at a Satan in the 1950s, what does he look like? He looks like a red face. He's got a big nose, and he's got the horns. So it's taking him more of a Jewish.
They politicize Satan.
Yeah, they politicize Satan and kind of like demonize who they want to everyone to see as evil.
Yeah.
So in 1932, Krampus traditions were actually outlawed by Nazi Germany.
Really?
In the 1950s, the government distributed pamphlets. Krampus is an evil man. So that's why when you get to the 50s and 60s,
is an evil man.
Hitler, very good. Krampus,
he carries chains on him.
How many chains?
And that's a symbol of the binding.
2 chains.
Binding of the devil. Like if
really?
You look up.
It does have like hoops on the end for like.
Have you ever seen like saints, like the Saint Michael statuettes, where he's holding a sword?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he has chains, and if you look at those statuettes, connected to the chains is the devil at his feet. So I didn't bring that with me, but I have one of those at home. So, what does Krampus do? He has bells, and he is said to carry off bad kids to drown, eat, or just take to hell.
To ground them?
To drown.
Oh, drowned.
To drown them.
I thought he said ground too.
Either one.
He's also said
both
to give out coal. So Krampus is giving...
So you're a freaking lucky kid. You get some coal.
If your house is heated by coal, maybe, but I have gas.
You didn't get ground.
Well...
Or drowned, sorry.
Oh, yeah. I guess
eaten.
I guess if you got coal, that's the least of your worries. That's like the best you could hope for.
That's what I'm thinking. I'll take that coal.
I'm never going to shoot
I'm good on
coal.
the drowning. Thank you.
So Brian's already showed the 1800s cards of Krampus.
Yep.
But like Krampus should instill fear in the hearts of children everywhere. The modern resurgence kind of has happened because we have books that now talk about Krampus. He's appeared on Supernatural. The TV show The Grimm has had Krampus. And what year was it? He just recently, in 2015, the movie Krampus came out.
The actual movie Krampus,
There was a
it was
movie
big.
just called Krampus.
Yeah.
And there's now, a Krampus 2.
Yeah, I have not seen the second one yet.
I was not impressed with the second one.
Yeah. I didn't really like the first one that much.
Let me ask you a question, though. More than one Krampus? Krampi?
Or Krampuses.
There are Krampi because, like, if you go to
Krampi.
celebrations, there are Krampus.
Krampi sounds way naughty.
That sounds horrible.
Yeah, let's go with Krampuses.
But there are Krampus festivals.
I was going to say, isn't there like a Cramp Con somewhere?
They're all over the place.
Like Austria?
Here in Pennsylvania, I think on December 6th or 5th, they're having their Krampus Night in Jim Thorpe. And you can go there, and you're not going to just see one Krampus.
Oh.
You're going to see a bunch of Krampuses.
Krampi everywhere.
So
it is Krampi. I'm sorry. I don't care how naughty it sounds. It's definitely...
But like when we think of Christmas, we think of all lights and snow and sweet things. But back in the days, in the 1800s, these people were afraid. Like if you think about it, wintertime was the time that if you lost family members, it'd be during the winter. Wait, you got to share with the
I'm
group.
sorry. A plural of Krampus is Krampus.
Krampus.
That made me laugh. A group of Krampus
So which is
or
worse?
Perchta is called a pass.
Which is worse, Krampi or Krampus?
I don't know. Krampi might be worse, but Krampus is apparently the correct
They
nomenclature.
both sound dirty as hell.
Krampus. Sorry, thank you for obliging me.
So, the wintertime, December, this is a time where you fear predators. You're starving.
Sure.
So, what are the most fearsome predators of the winter in Pennsylvania?
Wolves, coyotes.
Wolves. Exactly. So in some areas, it was dangerous to even say the word wolf between Christmas and Epiphany. The fear was you would summon them.
Oh.
Some avoid saying wolf in December at all. People born on Christmas Day suffered a higher risk of being a werewolf. No one is allowed to be born on Christ's birthday. So that's one thing I learned I didn't know.
You're more likely to become a werewolf
If you are one of those unfortunate bastards that are born on Christmas Day, you have a higher chance of becoming a werewolf.
I know someone. I
do?
gotta ask.
You check them out, see if their knuckles
Pay
are
attention
hairy.
on the full moons.
Like maybe visit them on a full moon. See if
Look out.
they're a little weird.
I never heard that before. Very cool.
I didn't know that. And obviously, since it's our Christmas episode, I'm going to refer to Santa.
It's our holiday edition.
Oh, yes, it's a holiday edition.
Something.
Continuing with our war on Christmas,
Yes.
But I'm going to refer to him as Sandy Claus because I have,
Merry Krampus.
well, I'm wearing Krampus here,
Yeah.
but, I like the idea of claws in my holiday spirit. But, have you guys ever heard of a dark story of Santa?
The Dark Story of Santa? No.
Okay.
That movie that came out last
I
year.
mean, I've seen Futurama. There's
No,
like
I'm not talking about latest movies. I'm talking about old stories. One of my favorite stories of Santa Claus is one of the most fearsome for kids.
Okay.
It's called 3 Children and the Evil Butcher. Okay. There were
I'm in.
3 children who were out in the field and lost track of time. They wandered into town to the butcher's shop. They asked the butcher for some food, and he invited them inside. Instead of feeding them, he butchered them all, and he put their body parts in a barrel of brine for curing. 7 years later, Saint Nicholas, the good guy, learned of the evil deed. He commanded the butcher to open up the salt barrel. Saint Nicholas made the sign of the cross and demanded the children to rise. The now living children crawled out of the salt barrel. The butcher was forced to be the servant of Saint Nicholas. So, my question for you two is, at the end of this episode is, so is the butcher Krampus, Knecht Ruprecht, or another one of Santa's cryptid helpers?
Oh.
So,
And he made some zombie kids.
well,
Saint Nick.
Saint Nick made zombie kids.
Right.
The butcher just tried to kill them, and he was going to
And he
sell
chopped
them.
them up.
He chopped them up, and
So
Saint
did they
Nicholas,
come out in pieces or they were
No,
reassembled?
they came out reconstituted. Thank God, because that would be even more horrific
Right.
Yep.
of a story.
I'm going Rupert Grint.
I don't have an answer, so you can't be
Rupert
wrong.
Grint.
Wait, wrong.
Ron Weasley.
Yeah, next Rupert.
Knecht Ruprecht. So I think that maybe this story.
What do you think? Yeah, what do you think?
Is one of those things that maybe the 3 children and the butcher are a way to explain why a dark figure like Krampus is involved in the Christmas holiday. You have this good Saint Nicholas who does good things. Why do you have an evil character? And I think it was a justification to say this is why Santa has a dark evil helper, because he's atoning for his sins.
It is a good question, though, when you think about it.
Yeah.
Why would we need... I mean, I guess it makes sense for the balance, but it's just interesting that now we only recognize that good side of it,
Yeah.
And why was there a need to... unless it was a tool, unless it was a means to keep kids in line.
Well, yeah, but like, what's the message? Like, don't lose track of time. I guess that's the big thing.
Yeah, like.
Well, I mean,
which, I guess it's important.
Like
but,
for us, I mean, it was like get home before the street lights come on.
Right.
It was kind of like the 70s and 80s equivalent for being a good kid. These kids obviously probably had to be home by supper time, so they were disobeying their parents by being out late. So I think the need for a Krampus or a Knecht Ruprecht or a Belsnickel is all to keep kids in line, in the holiday season.
I mean, through history, that seems like a lot of all of this is just to teach kids and people how to
teach moral lessons.
Yeah.
Well, you had mentioned Odin earlier, and I had heard that too. That like some of the Krampus might be kind of like a descendant. Or Odin, and also.
Well, you said Woden. Do you mean Woden?
I say Woden because my family comes from the Odenwald region, and the Odin is a very Nordic kind of god, but in the region of Germany my family's from, they would have referred to him as Woden. But Woden and Odin, historians will tell you, are so similar. They're almost the same person.
It is the same person.
It is the same person,
or the same figure.
So, and like Christmas, as we know it, came from Saturnalia.
Yeah. So what do you mean?
Well, when I talk about Christmas traditions, I think of things like, your Christmas tree is a pagan Christmas tree.
Right.
It's not Christian at all. It starts in Germany, comes to America. It's not ingrained in American society to the 1800s. But if you go back, to the 1600s, it's there in Germany, as a pagan tradition.
Right.
And the holly and the ivy.
Yeah, like you have to think about religions aren't stagnant. They're growing. And some people of religions might look negatively on the stories of things like Krampus, but I try to look at it as all religions come from the same origins. If you think about how a tree grows, you got your trunk. All of them, if you go back far enough, come from that same trunk.
I mean, we know it to be true. Most religions are based on the exact same stories,
facts,
exact same. Yeah.
And people that don't want holidays to change and they want it to be like they were when they were a child, it's an unrealistic expectation. Holidays are going to grow. They're going to morph. They're going to change.
Yeah.
And I think for me, just knowing the history of the holidays is interesting in its own right. And I kind of accept the growth of how they go.
Sure.
And
so you've accepted Coca-Cola as part of Christmas now?
Like the Coca-Cola Santa
and their polar
is
bears,
awesome.
Yeah.
The artist, Robert Nash, is the guy that created the classic image of St. Nicholas. And Coca-Cola made him wear red. I mean, my ancestors would have been celebrating a guy dressed in furs.
Right. Actual furs.
It would have
probably
looked more like Krampus. But I don't think it takes away from the holiday. And I still like a red Santa Claus. I'm looking forward to the latest Jack Black film where the kid writes poorly to Satan Claus, and Jack Black is the guy that he gets.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, Jack Black's going to be
Satan Claus?
Satan
No way.
Claus. Because
When's
the
this
kid
coming out?
misspells Santa.
Dude, that's awesome. When I was in I don't even know, fourth or fifth grade or something, we had a play in school and you had to hold up the card that said SANTA, and we totally were not in the right order. And we're saying, we're saying, maybe, I don't know. We were saying Santa, but the card said differently.
Oh my God, you guys.
It was awesome.
did not
Santa, Satan, 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 Satan. It was pretty funny.
I would
To
pay
us.
money for that video.
To us, yeah. Not to our parents. They didn't.
Oh, the parents were not into Satan.
They were not
I
amused.
remember my mom talking to me about it. Did you know that was spelled wrong? Oh, no, I didn't catch that, Mom.
That's great, though.
Yeah, sorry.
No. So that is my history side of the Krampus and the Dark Holidays.
And we just talked about German stuff,
yeah,
right?
we just talked about German. I didn't even mention like the Yule
Iceland.
Cat, which
Yeah.
is another
Eats kids.
Or I mean, there's also in German tradition, there's Perchta.
That's exactly
Did you mention
what I
that
was gonna
Krampus
say.
has been eating kids?
Oh, I might not have mentioned Krampus does eat kids.
That's his
supposedly.
thing, right? He likes to eat kids.
He eats the bad kids, not the good kids.
We got the Bels.
Does he
what's
eat
the
them
Bels
raw?
what?
Does he cook them?
Well, it says that he drowns them. Maybe he drowns them in a soup. You know,
What's his name? The Belsnicker? Belsnicker.
Belsnickel.
Belsnickel. He beats kids.
He beats kids.
Krampus is like, nah, man, you got to eat them.
You got to eat those kids.
First,
They're
I'm gonna
good.
beat
They're not
you.
going to learn their lesson.
Then I'm gonna eat you.
you got to give up on the kid at some point.
Come on, just go ahead and eat them
just
kids.
eat them. That's why my Krampus has dead kids all around and a dead kid in the sack
I love it.
because he eats them. You know, so
Yeah. But yeah, you said about Perchta, right?
Perchta,
That's what I was just going to
Perchta.
say about, because
That's
I
what
learned
they-
about her. And she has a big floppy foot, too.
She
One
They're
big
does.
similar
floppy-
characters, is what
But
they
some
say.
say
Yeah.
she has a goose or a swan. foot.
Right.
And she's also known as a shapeshifter, which I know you're a big fan of, like
shapeshifter.
shapeshifters.
I do.
She, however, prohibits spinning on the holidays. So this is more of a crime for you women. You know, not many men spin flax or anything. She enters the homes between Christmas and Epiphany, and she gave good kids a silver coin. Bad kids, however, and this gets really creepy, would have their bellies slit open.
Ooh.
Then she would remove their stomach and guts and stuff them with straw and
Sticks.
pebbles.
Okay, eating kids not the worst somehow.
Right.
Well, I'm telling you,
Make you
tonight's
into a
episode
living
is about getting
scarecrow.
worse and worse.
I love it.
And,
Stuff them with what?
She would
Sticks, pebbles,
sticks,
straw.
pebbles, straw, and she would not only if your a grievous sin to get this is that you spun before the holiday, and she would have also done this if you ate before the feast day.
Ew.
So if you had
A full belly.
Snickers bar
Yeah.
when you weren't supposed to.
Oh, you sneak one.
If you sneak some food, she's going to slit your belly open and stuff you with straw and pebbles.
Oh, man.
And she's also sometimes the leader of the wild hunt. And this goes back to, in Germany, there are the theory of the wild hunt, which is Odin or Perchta would lead the wild hunt. You would hear dogs barking or the sounds of hoof prints, and you would look up into the sky and you would see a procession of warriors in the sky, and that is called the wild hunt. If you saw the wild hunt, it was a bad omen.
A procession of warriors in the sky.
In the sky.
Yeah, sounds like a bad omen to me.
Now, my family comes from Bierfurt, Germany. And the weird thing is, there have been documented cases where the wild hunt has been seen above their covered bridge in the town of Bierfurt.
Nope,
That's the reindeer.
Well, maybe it's the reindeer Santa. But if you look up, you are forced to join the ghostly procession of the wild hunt. So
Who's forcing you?
whoever you, if you see it,
If you see it.
you are pulled up into the wild hunt, and
Don't
you are,
look at it.
You are forced to be part of the wild hunt forever.
And how does anybody know?
Well, because
'Cause if they've seen
because
it,
you no
they
longer
were-
go to work. You stop showing up.
You don't need to shower. Somehow, you don't need to eat.
So if you, I'm assuming like if you go missing in December,
Oh,
and,
must have
you
been
know,
the wild
you're
hunt.
like, she must have saw the wild hunt.
Dang, man. She saw a wild hunt.
I mean, it's an easy way. Like if you're German and you want to kill
Yeah.
someone and get rid of them, you could just be like, he saw the wild
They
hunt.
must have seen the wild hunt.
You
I
know.
don't know what happened.
It might just be an excuse to get rid of people. I don't know. But I'm just here to tell you the folklore. I'm not here to tell you if it's real or not.
Right.
My goal is to just say what the folklore is. You make up your own mind.
What the folklore?
What the folklore?
Steve.
It
What
did
the
sound like that
folklore?
when
What
it
the
came out of him.
folklore?
I know. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But, Merry Krampus to you all.
Merry
Yes,
Krampus back
Merry
at you.
Krampus to both of
I know
you.
I'm bah humbug, but hey. So Germany, we decided that we should do some kind of pizza.
Correct.
And we didn't go anywhere. We did not go to Germany.
No.
We decided we should. I
was
feel like I have
rooting
glitter
for
on my
Germany.
face. Is there glitter on my face?
There is glitter on your face. Of
course.
I'm going to embrace it, but I'm going to tell you right now that I hate glitter.
It's probably you were.
I love glitter. I love
It's
it.
because you were helping Christy move
I
the
know.
stuff in
It's
here.
it's all this Christmas stuff.
You get what you get.
Again with the bah humbug. Do you feel my bah humbug coming through?
He deserves glitter.
I love
You
glitter.
should have glitter bombed him at the beginning of that.
He would
episode.
get so
Someone will
mad.
die.
No, he would literally get so mad.
He would have been
he would
mad at you the
cancel.
whole episode.
I'll
It might have
smile.
No, I don't. I think he would have gone home and
I
showered.
don't know what
been- Be
would
like, this
happen.
He would've
podcast is
canceled.
over. I'm
I don't-
replacing both of you.
Non-glitter podcast from now on.
It's gonna be.
We decided to make pizza ourselves.
We did.
And we decided to make pizza that was inspired from Germany. We made, it's called Flammkuchen. Am I pronouncing that close? Do you know?
I have no clue.
You're not a German.
I'm German, but I don't speak
Flammkuchen, it means flame cake.
flame cake.
So any German people,
Sounds like gay cake.
you can
but,
tell me how to pronounce it for real. But so we made this pizza. It was not really pizza. So it's like a originator of the pizza. It was like a flatbread.
Flatbread.
So it had flatbread. What else? Onions.
a lot of onions, sour cream. Well, it's supposed to be
Creme
fraiche, but
Supposed to be creme fraiche, but we can't
we
find
could
creme
not
fraiche.
find creme fraiche
I didn't want to
anywhere.
make it, so we used
Yes.
sour cream. This was an easy substitute.
Right.
And then onions and
Bacon.
Bacon.
That's pretty much it.
That's it. And so
So that was the traditional version.
that's how you're supposed to make it. I don't eat onions. Well, I do. I'll eat them. I really don't want to, and I don't. If I don't have to, I'm
and
not
he
going to.
didn't.
And
Just
I-
like he
yeah.
didn't dress up today.
Thank God.
Party pooper.
But humbug. So the
I
other
think you
pizza
should've
we
been
made
wearing my
was flatbread.
I
We
know,
used
at
sour
least.
creme fraiche, sour cream,
Right.
bacon, but we put some mozzarella cheese instead of the onions on it. Mozzarella provolone
Yeah, it's
Oh,
not a
and the
very fair
non-traditional version.
substitute.
is totally way better substitute
Yeah.
in my book. So we ate those pizzas. You guys both ate a slice of each.
Well, I
did.
couldn't finish either
I
slice.
did not. Well, let's start with you, Christy. Traditional slice you gave. Now, again, we made this pizza. We're not
Right.
ripping on anybody here. 2.75 out of 5. Bacon wasn't crispy. Oh, I'm sorry. I read the wrong one. With a dip, it could have been better, is what you said.
Yeah, like
Chunks of
maybe a
cream
dip.
cheese tasted better. Oh, so then in the creme fraiche we did, or in the,
Sour cream.
we added some,
We added a little bit of cream cheese to it because we were told by the recipe that that could be a possible substitution. So when you could taste the cream cheese, it was much better.
there were so many different recipes of the same thing with just
Yeah.
the slightest variations. And ours actually called for nutmeg in it a little bit, so we used nutmeg. We tried it out. And Christy wanted to try the cream cheese in it a little bit to thicken it up.
Yeah.
And you were glad you did, right?
Yeah, because those are like the only bites I really enjoyed. Was
But
when I
if
got the
it
cream
wasn't,
cheese.
so let me ask you guys, if it wasn't, I haven't asked you your score yet, but if it wasn't so onion heavy, would you have liked it more? If it was half the onions, would you have given it a bigger score?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, fair enough.
The onions were
we
very
were-
plain
And plentiful. Oh,
and plentiful.
let's get back to the plane. Hold on one sec.
Okay.
So Christy said chunks of cream cheese tastes better. The non-traditional one, you said 2.75, so the same ass score.
Yep.
Out of 5. Bacon wasn't crispy on your pieces. Also better with a dip, possibly ranch, which is a good suggestion. Which I'm pretty sure was what your mom did, right? With the
Yeah,
Yeah,
had a
she
piece
dipped
of
it
that.
in ranch, she said.
Yeah.
So
Tolerable.
not great scores. 2.75.
Yeah.
Not a great pizza. Probably would not haunt that. I'm guessing.
Well, I wouldn't haunt that pizza, but I would haunt that place because I live there.
You do. Oh yeah, you have
Yeah,
to.
she
haunt
has
that.
I
to haunt
kind of
that
have to
place.
haunt it.
Mr. Steve, traditional, 2.5 out of 5. So
Even
half.
less than hers.
Yeah, you gave it pretty much half.
It was horrible. I
Would've-
thought
It was bad.
it was bad pizza.
The onions, I don't want it.
No.
Would have been 100 times better, is what you said, if the onions were sauteed first. So,
Or seasoned at all.
or
Yeah,
any kind of
seasoned.
seasoning or
Any.
saute. Yeah, I agree.
It
But
was
the
just
recipe
raw
called for
onions.
none.
To be honest with you guys, if it had called for sauteed onions, I might have ate that pizza. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Raw onions. And it said in the recipe, let them cook in the oven. And it made them really thin. You cut them really thin so they cook in the
Yeah.
oven.
Yeah, and I had all that bacon
Hell
grease. I
no.
could have sauteed the onions and it would have made them
Could you imagine?
That would have made it so much better.
Steve says, part of me just missed the red sauce. So again, you
it
don't
was
have it. All you
too
have is sour
dry.
cream.
It was too dry.
Yeah, it was dry.
It's a flatbread pizza for sure.
It's horrible.
Well, 2.5, so it must be worse. I gave it. Wait, did you
You
eat
didn't give the traditional.
Did you
anything,
eat the
didn't
traditional, or did you eat the other one?
I ate both.
Yeah.
I don't have a score for you for the other one.
Oh, I gave a 3.5 for the
Oh.
non-traditional one,
Okay.
which was one of the higher scores of the night.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he
And
liked it.
I liked it.
because it was basically just cheese and bacon on
And
a
sour
flatbread.
cream.
Yeah,
Listen, I'm not
thin
supposed to
layer
have
of
bacon,
sour
so
cream.
like anytime I can have bacon, it's like a way positive experience for me. It's like living like the days before the heart attack.
and see, now I did like the bacon. I know you said you didn't like it crispy, or it wasn't crispy enough for you, but I liked the way it was. That
Yeah.
bacon made the taste for me. But I gave it non-traditional. I was the only one I ate, and I gave it a 2.5 out of 5. So down the middle of the road, same thing. Strange tanginess to it because the sour cream actually like changed the way the cheese tasted. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The way it just was different. So the bacon actually made that piece for me. If I didn't have the bacon on that, who knows what the heck I score when I gave it.
Yeah,
it
it's
was
just
gnarly.
basically like a cracker.
It was like, yeah, it's like an appetizer kind of
Bland.
weird thing. I don't know. Not great. Don't recommend. I would not haunt. Well, we have to haunt that place because it's Christy's house.
But-
I wouldn't haunt that pizza.
Yeah.
I wouldn't haunt it either. That I would ghost that pizza.
Yeah.
But the night we tried this horrifying pizza,
Flammkuchen.
we were talking about how we could improve it. And when I went home, I was thinking about it. I think if you made a dough and you made it with a little hint of the beef seasoning in it,
Beef.
and beef seasoning,
Okay.
and instead of a red sauce, hear me out, you used a brown gravy as
Sure.
the base,
Like a beef gravy.
like a beef gravy. Cover that with the mozzarella, and then sautéed onions to do a more traditional French onion soup pizza.
Yeah,
I
that's a
can
good
get what
idea.
you're going for there.
You know, I think because obviously we're not trying to replicate a regular pizza,
Right.
but I think like the hallmarks of this pizza had all the hallmarks of a French onion soup without all the good factors
Yeah,
of taste.
with the flavor.
There was a little lack of flavor.
I would eat a French onion soup pizza. Just saying. I would totally eat that if we ever made something like that.
I
That
think,
sounds incredible.
I think we should.
I would also eat what you were sounding like. You were saying it was like a poutine pizza. Put some
Almost
French
like-
fries on that,
Oh,
and I would eat that as well.
a
Do you remember
poutine-
the Thanksgiving pizza I made years ago?
Sure. Thanksgiving pizza.
A
was
poutine
pretty
pizza
darn
might
good.
be amazing.
So we got lots of ideas.
We do. So for the next Christmas episode or an episode where we're investigating a cryptid and we have to make our own pizza, we'll throw this into the hopper of ideas of things to maybe try.
Or
Yeah.
let us know what you think we should make.
Right.
Maybe you have a traditional pizza from your region, wherever you are.
Yeah,
in
you want us to
America.
try it out.
Excluding Altoona. You don't count for this.
You bologna and cheese people, you scare us.
No, thank you. Everybody else, please hit us up with any of your holiday pizza recipes or traditional pizza recipes. We love that stuff.
Way to
Yeah.
upset an entire region of fans.
Altoona?
Yeah, do you think we need to explain
Bring it,
that a little bit?
Altoona.
Yeah, like if someone in Altoona...
You think your pizza's good? Bring it, please.
I think you
out.
should explain a little bit
Should
why
we
you're
explain
saying
why
that.
Altoona
Oh, yeah.
and my anger?
Okay, yeah, let's explain it.
It's not pizza.
We're always looking for
Look it up.
the best pizza places, and one day I looked at them,
Altoona, Pennsylvania, we're
and
talking
I
about.
said, "Listen, we're always looking for the best pizza. I think we should try the worst pizza."
Yeah.
And I've heard that Altoona pizza is rated as the worst pizza in America, and it's because
Not just Pennsylvania, in
not-
America.
In America. Like, they are the reigning champs of horrible pizza because supposedly the pizza's on white bread.
Originally created by the Altoona Hotel, this pizza is described as having Sicilian crust with marinara, topped with salami, green peppers. This isn't right. American cheese. Yeah, American cheese.
And
Salami
bologna,
and
right?
bologna. But that's what it is. Bologna with American cheese on top. No.
It sounds like the worst thing on the planet.
No.
But I think in all honesty, we have to try it because it's just.
Oh, we're gonna try it.
Yeah,
That's
I'll
the worst
try it.
part, Altoona, is we're gonna come try
We're
your
gonna have
pizza.
to try that.
So
I am
Altoona,
not excited about this. As much as I hate onions, you're up there.
We got to go out there and try the worst pizza.
We're gonna do it.
I'm down.
And for our Altoona listeners that want to prove us wrong, tell us the best place to have bologna and American
Bring it,
cheese
please.
pizza.
Tell us.
And also let us know any haunted sites that are out there that we should hit up while we're visiting.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And
Agreed.
trying your horrifying pizza.
Altoona or near Altoona, we'd like to come out that way.
Right.
So, anything else?
No.
That's our holiday edition. Oh no.
Yeah, that was fun.
I
Thanks
enjoyed
for
it.
joining us.
I think it was a good substitute, for going anywhere this week to actually
Yeah.
Stay warm and get
do
yeah.
this. And
Make
Yeah.
our own pizza,
Yeah.
even though it wasn't that great.
you really did do a fantastic job.
Nice job on the
Krampus.
Krampus.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was thinking about doing a raffle to give it away to one of our listeners, but my daughter's like, "Oh, I'll take it."
Ooh.
Yeah.
But
Daughter
I was
comes
gonna
first.
just get rid of it. But if I could make a Krampus like this to give away to a listener, so maybe one of these times,
If there's some interest,
we'll start getting rid of some of these props.
that's a cool idea, Steve.
Because I don't really need them in my life, nor would my wife want me to display them in our home.
But this is cool, man. Like, you spend time on this.
Yeah, and
so
you could keep that up
appreciate it.
year round.
I could if I wasn't married,
Anybody
or I wanted
wants
to
them.
not be married.
There you go. Reach out. All right. And next time you want to slice the paranormal, you know where to find us. Where?
On all of the social media platforms, we're on YouTube also, our YouTube channel.
Yep. Check us out on YouTube.
You can
on
email
Spotify.
us.
Spotify,
Like, subscribe.
Apple Podcast.
All of it.
Really let
Amazon.
us know if you really like what we're doing. Leave us comments that really lets us know. We're doing what you guys want.
Or tell us, what you want us to do.
Right.
Have a happy holiday. Merry Christmas. Whatever you do.
Join us next time you crave a slice of the paranormal. Peace.
This podcast was produced by Stone State Entertainment.